Let's start with something that isn't exactly news, but I have to show you. We all remember being blown away by the announcement trailer for Jurassic Park Survival, getting to see those iconic locations from the original movie brought back to life. Well, the lead environment artist for that very trailer has shared a brand new look at how the trailer was made, giving us a closer look at some of the props and environments, and they really do look amazing. It's been a while since we've had a video on the upcoming video game, but since we last spoke about it, there have been a handful of developments that are worth us taking a look at to maybe figure out when we might get our next look at this exciting title. Jurassic Park fans have been starved of this type of video game for a really long time. In fact, this type of game has been cancelled twice before, so it's pretty safe to assume that this iteration of Jurassic Park Survival has a lot to live up to. But will it be able to meet those expectations? I want to get into all of that and more in this video, so welcome back to Jurassic Outpost and let's get straight into the detail. In December of last year, we got our very first look at an all-new video game entry in the Jurassic Park franchise. Jurassic Park Survival was introduced by Saber Interactive, a video game development company and publisher with offices around the globe. While most of their current titles up to this point had been less open-world survival and more driving-style simulation games, the developers have clearly been expanding in recent years into new video game territories, with efforts to enter the first-person shooter space with John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, and with their titles A Quiet Place and Jurassic Park Survival representing a move into movie-licensed games. The announcement was presented with a full cinematic trailer, giving us a brief introduction to the location of the game and the titular character. In the game, you play as Dr. Maya Joshi, an InGen scientist who was unable to evacuate Isla Nublar during the storm that we saw in the original movie. The game is taking us all the way back to 1993, so you'll be seeing Jurassic Park as it stood moments after the original disaster. The game was announced without a release date or a release year, so since its unveiling, many of us have been wondering just when the video game might see the light of day. I think we might be able to gather some understanding of when that might be, when we might be able to get our hands on Jurassic Park Survival, by taking a look at some of the things that may have been overlooked. But before we do that, the lead environment artist on the announcement trailer shared a behind-the-scenes look at the video game trailer. The one that shows us beautiful shots of various sections of the island after Hammond's group have already left. I want to thank Raptor Blue on Twitter for originally sharing this, which is how I first saw it. The artist posted shots from the trailer. Here we see the iconic waterfall that sits behind the helicopter landing pad. Abandoned is the Jeep, the very Jeep that Hammond drove at the end of the movie. Below that, the recreated Jeep itself, the 3D model created for the trailer. It's stunning to see this vehicle recreated so perfectly from the final time that we saw it in the movie. It really is impressive stuff. If we continue down this page, we see outside the T-Rex enclosure, the abandoned tour vehicle sits as it did in the movie as a herd of Gallimimus run past. The artist's next shot is the infamous banner seen in the visitor center when dinosaurs ruled the earth. We get to see this whole banner, the model created for it, fully textured in this video. It's pretty great to see the level of detail that went into something seen only momentarily in the trailer. Granted, it is seen in a close-up shot, so you really can make out all of that detail. Finally, he shows us the main road, the road leading up to the Jurassic Park gates. In the trailer, we see Maya stumble through the jungle and onto this dirt road before the T-Rex finds her and provides the now iconic shot from the trailer. The level of detail that has gone into this trailer alone should be an indication on the care and pride Saber feel about this title. Sure, video game trailers, especially the announcement trailers, have to be breathtaking, but I think it tells us exactly what Saber are intending for this game, at least when it comes to recreating the island just as we saw it in the movie. The same might not be able to be said for the dinosaurs, however, but I think we'll leave that for another video. Jurassic Park Survival has been in development since at least November 2022, and likely even earlier, meaning a 2025 release date could be possible. Let me explain. This Steam page for the video game shows a change list entry number that is dated as 2nd of November 2022. From what we can work out, this is the first instance of the game in the Steam store. It shows that Saber have been working on it for longer than we first thought and potentially even earlier than this November 2022 date. As with some of the comments on this Reddit post point out, it's not unreasonable to think the video game might actually be closer than we think and could release towards the end of this year in 2024. There was a lot of speculation about December 2024 being the release date, but I think by now, at least this point during the year, we would have heard more about it. I personally think it's much more realistic that this game's release will actually coincide with the new movie in the summer of 2025. That makes a lot more sense in terms of multi-platform franchise building, and while this game likely won't tie directly into the new movie's story, the very fact that there is a new movie and the hype that will surround it makes it the ideal time for Saber to release this game. Another thing that suggests this video game might be closer to being completed than we first thought is that some of the game's achievements were already spotted months back on various websites that track this kind of thing. For example, TrueAchievements.com lists currently 10 achievements for Jurassic Park Survival for the Xbox. According to the commenter who noticed this almost never happens for other games. However, when we take a look at these, it becomes obvious that they're all placeholders, the points all being 100 and the achievements all saying the exact same thing. These are all just placeholders, but it tells us two things. Jurassic Park Survival will have achievements, and those achievements have likely already been worked out, as some record of them does exist. Let's not forget, it was also the Xbox that allowed a pre-install of the video game months ago. The pre-install did not reveal anything, but allowed users to actually pre-install something of Jurassic Park Survival onto their console, onto the Xbox Series X or S. And speaking of the Xbox, this True Achievements website also lists the game as being digital only, which is not unheard of these days, and being 70 gig in size. This information could again be placeholder, but you really do begin to wonder if we will be hearing about this game sooner rather than later. Unexpectedly, nothing for Jurassic Park Survival was shown at Summer Game Fest or Gamescom this year, the latter having taken place earlier in August. Since the announcement trailer, there has been a lot of speculation on when we will see the next tease or the next bit of information on this game. Days after Summer Game Fest, IGN unveiled an interview with Saber's creative director who told us more information about the game and showed new in-game screenshots and concept art for the title. This was the last bit of information we got about the game, and the in-game screenshots were a welcome blessing, showing us more of the atmospheric recreation of Isla Nublar, the very one that we will get to explore. The T-Rex looming in the distance of this misty nighttime jungle, a pack of velociraptors hunting in the moonlight, the inside of the theater room inside the visitor's center. I honestly cannot wait to play this game. It really has been something I've wanted for more time than I can remember. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about, Saber Games haven't just been developing Jurassic Park, they've been hard at work bringing a number of other titles to life and demonstrating their work in various genres and video game styles. Most recently announced is Roadcraft, a game that feels quite similar to Saber's other mud, snow driving simulators like SnowRunner and Expeditions, but focuses more on reshaping an environment than just driving through it. Following a natural disaster, you must use various construction machinery and vehicles to restart the local industry, clear debris, rebuild roads and bridges, and a whole number of other things that directly interact with the environment. However, I think what's more important here is that this is Saber's latest in-house work, and it represents and demonstrates some of the environments and physics that we will see in Jurassic Park Survival. The trailer and subsequent release images showcase a vast number of environments that show us tropical trees and fauna, dense forests, bodies of water, lots of muddy environments and dirt roads, all of which are things Isla Nublar has and will have in Survival. While of course this is not the same type of video game, there's reason to assume that these assets used here could be used in Jurassic Park Survival, meaning this could be a first real indication of what playing Jurassic Park Survival might actually be like. That's all for now. What do you think about Jurassic Park Survival, and how soon do you think we will be playing it? Share your thoughts and excitement down below in the comments.